It's always an extra special Saturday in Formula One when it's a sprint weekend. And in Austria, this was our second of the season. But how did it go down and what will be the starting order for Sunday's Grand Prix tomorrow? I'm Ollie Wilson for GPFans, and here's everything that went down in our sprint race today, this Saturday.
There was plenty of action up front early on in the sprint race on Saturday, with Pierre Gasly and Lewis Hamilton touching going into turn one, spinning the French driver off the circuit. While up front, the two Ferraris and Max Verstappen exchanged tussles during the opening corners. The Red Bull driver able to initially rebuff the Ferrari's push as Charles Leclerc tried to find an angle through the first few turns. The Scuderia battle allowed the Red Bull to pull away up front, while teammate Sergio Perez was making up places quickly, up to 8th by lap 5. Lap 7 saw the two Ferraris inter-team squabbling, once more coming to the forefront, with Sainz looking to take second from Leclerc, perhaps buoyed by his win in Silverstone, but the Monegasque driver just about held off the charge. Lap 9 saw Sergio Perez taking advantage of an out-of-shape Mick Schumacher after he'd had a look at his teammate. The Mexican continued to move through the pack, taking Kevin Magnussen on lap 11. Sebastian Vettel had an off at turn 6 and a spin through the gravel sent him tumbling down the pack after Alex Albon and he made contact. Perez was still on a mission, moving past Esteban Ocon on lap 11 and up into 5th, while Lewis Hamilton was on the hunt for a top 8 position. Stuck behind the Haas of Mick Schumacher, the German driver defended as best he could lap after lap, eventually losing out around turn 4 with 2 laps to go. So Verstappen takes the sprint race at a canter, followed by Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz in the Ferraris. George Russell had a quiet ride, eventually finishing 4th, with Sergio Perez charging up the field to take 5th. Esteban Ocon came in 6th, Kevin Magnussen 7th, and Lewis Hamilton 8th, rounding out the point-scoring positions.
After the victory in the sprint race, here's what Sunday's pole sitter had to say.
It was just the first few laps, said Verstappen, discussing the battle up front early on. Of course, they were also fighting a little bit, so I had a bit of a gap, and after that, I think we were quite similar in pace. So I do expect tomorrow it is going to be a very interesting battle again, because the race is going to be a lot longer, so it is going to be tricky on tyres.
And of course, you can join us on gpfans.com and GPFans Global on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok with all of the action from Sunday's Austrian Grand Prix.